We are continuing the Communicate Without Criticism course, and this is lesson number 5. One of the best, and in fact one of the most transformative lessons in the course. So skill number 5 is making requests. Requests are a strategy to meet our needs, so make sure you listen to lesson number 4 before you came here about needs to understand what our needs are. So requests are how we ask for a certain strategy to try to meet our needs. Effective requests are stated in clear, specific action language. Will you go on a date with me on Tuesday and spend a few hours with me, with your attention on me? Will you help me with a project that I have for work? Will you please take care of the dry cleaning? Will you please tell me that you love me? These are requests stated in clear, specific action language. The best requests are positive and doable. Instead of saying, I want you to stop spending every weekend at work, say, I want you to spend your weekend with me, cooking and spending it at home and going to the local farmer's market on Saturday at noon. Because if you say, I don't want you to work on Saturday, there's the wife said to her husband, I don't want you to work on Saturday. He said, okay, I won't work on Saturday. And then Saturday, he's at the golf course. She says, what are you doing at the golf course? And he said, what do you mean? She said, I told you I didn't want you to work on Saturday. He said, I'm not working. So if you state in positive terms what you want, you're more likely to get your request met without a miscommunication. This is not a requirement. Your communication doesn't have to be perfect. It would be perfectly reasonable to be annoyed with the husband who went golfing on Saturday because he is being dense. So that would be perfectly reasonable to be annoyed, frustrated, irritated with that. And if you want to maximize your chances of your request getting met, state it in positive, actionable, doable language. Requests are not based on rewards or punishments. Now this is the key. This starts to get to why this is transformative. Because so many of us, we grew up as children with consequences. Oh, if you get good grades, you'll get ice cream. If you win your soccer game, you'll get ice cream or a treat. If you're good, Santa will bring you toys at Christmas. But if you're naughty, you're going to get coal. If you're naughty, you're going to have a consequence, a negative consequence. So many of us were raised on rewards and punishments. And we think, oh, how do relationships work? If I want to get what I want, I need to offer rewards for good behavior and punishments for bad behavior. And when somebody does something we don't like, we punish them. How do we punish? With silent treatment, with pouting and sulking, with being mean, with ignoring, with criticizing. That's how we punish. Passive-aggressive remarks, punishment. Criticizing in front of somebody's friends, punishment. In public, punishment. Right? You try to touch me, I'm not going to let you touch me, punishment. Withholding, punishment. Ignoring you. So, relationships that are built on rewards and punishments are not fun. And that's not love. That's control and transactions. So we want to communicate in a way that is not based on rewards and punishments. Remember what our goal is? It's to cultivate connection. Connection is based on generosity. I ask something of you with no obligation, and you have the opportunity to be generous to me. Wow. So you're asking something of me, and either I get to be generous, in which case I'm very happy because I get to express my generosity and feel good about myself because I'm a generous person, and connect with you because I'm expressing generosity because I want to. And if I need to say no, I can say no without being punished, without feeling bad, knowing that I'm free to be me and my needs are respected. Yeah, that's what a loving relationship is. Whether it's an intimate romantic relationship or a friendship or an acquaintance or whatever it is. It's built on respect. So we're learning to make requests where the other person is free to say yes or no. And requests are in contrast to demands, because when we demand something of somebody, we demand, you must do this. You must do this or else. The or else is usually implied, it's not stated. You must do this. If you love me, you will do this. Demand. So demands are not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if you're like me, you have children, and you tell your kid, you must put your shoes on so that we can go out the door and get to school on time. It's a demand. It is not a request, it's a demand. It's a requirement, it's an obligation. Demands are not necessarily bad. This is not request good, demands bad. It's just being aware that demands cultivate disconnection. So when we're at work and a manager needs to make a demand and a requirement that we do something, or else we lose our job implicitly, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And as much as possible to make requests is going to cultivate more connection than demands. Here's the key. Requests are about energy. It's the energy you bring. Because you can use the words, will you please? Will you please take out the trash? We're using that example. Will you please wash the dishes? Right? We can use the right words, but if the energy is, if you don't do this, you're going to be punished. If you do it, you're going to get a reward. Or if you don't do it, more likely, if you don't do it, you're going to be punished with negativity. I'm going to bring my bad mood and ruin your whole weekend with my bad mood so that you want to run away, that you don't want to come home because I've got a bad mood. Right? Requests are about energy. The energy is, I'm making a request. I'm asking you for something. I'm asking you, will you please support me and love me? Right? In a specific, actionable way. And the energy is, you're completely free to do it or not to do it. If you express your love for me by spending quality time with me in a specific way, like watching my favorite TV show with me on Friday night, I would love it. And if you just choose not to do it, there is no negative consequence to you whatsoever. That's the energy that you want to bring to your requests. You are completely free to do it or not do it. There will be no negative consequence if you don't do it. Will you please be intimate with me? Will you please be intimate with me? Physically intimate in the bedroom with me. If you say yes, I will love it. If you say no, you are completely free to say no. I will not pout and sulk or get upset. I won't criticize you. You're completely free to say yes or no. That's the energy you want to bring to your requests. All right, so let's just run through a few examples. Will you please clean the kitchen after dinner? That's a good request. Clear, actionable language and energy. The energy really depends on the way you say it. Will you please sit on the couch with me and hold my hand while we watch an episode of our show that we like to watch together? Great. Very clear and specific and actionable. Will you please love me? Well, love is a need. Okay, you might think, well, is love an emotion? Is it an action? Is it a verb? What is it? For our purposes, love is a need. And so if you know the 5 love languages, with all the criticism that's come across for the 5 love languages lately, whatever you want to say about it, it does help people figure out the way to express strategies to meet their need for love. So some people's strategies to meet their need for love might be words of affirmation, physical touch, gifts, acts of service, quality time. So figure out what's your strategy that you want to request to meet your need. Will you please love me? That is not clear. Nobody knows what to do if you say, will you please love me? All right. Will you please take care of changing the oil in the car by Friday? Very clear and actionable. An acts of service person. Will you please stop being so annoying? Nobody knows what to do. What does that mean? It's not specific. Will you please leave me alone? What does that mean, leave you alone? Don't talk to you? Go in another room? Avoid you? What does that mean, leave you alone? It's not clear. So more specificity would be very helpful. Will you please put your phone away during dinner and tell me about your day? Ah, specific. I know what you want. Good, specific, doable request. So again, a well-formulated I feel statement says, when observable behavior, I feel a feeling, although I know you never intended for me to feel this way if it's a bad feeling. If it's happy, oh, I feel happy. And I'm sure you wanted me to be happy, and that's why you bought me roses. Right? But if I have a bad feeling, I know you never intended for me to feel this bad feeling. I feel this way because I have a need for, and will you please fulfill my request? My request is my strategy to meet my need, and I will do my best to make sure you are free from any punishments or rewards, whether you say yes or no. Right? The reason why, realize that if you make a demand of somebody, they are in the position of whether they either must submit or rebel. So if you have somebody who your partner does not like being ordered around, they have a problem with authority, they are what's the word? Averse? I forget the word for it. Resistant? They're not going to like your demand. They're not going to be like to be controlled or told what to do. So a demand requires somebody to either submit or rebel, and they might rebel, and then you don't get your need met. But a request, if you make a request where they are free to say yes or no, now you have a different situation. And you have the opportunity for genuine generosity and love and connection. So how does it sound if we put it together? When observable behavior happens, I feel a feeling. Although, if it was a bad feeling, I know you never intended for me to feel a bad feeling. And I feel this way because I have a need. And will you please meet my request? So where's the criticism in that? We took all the criticism out. So this is a course on communicating without criticism, and we took all the criticism out. No punishments, no rewards, no criticism. Will you please meet my need? And if I have a loving partner will want to meet our needs. Okay? Your partner should want to meet your needs. Now, that's actually a strong statement that I'm making right now. That requires some qualification, but we feel good when we meet each other's needs, and when we care about and meeting the needs of the people we care about and considering one another and our needs. So that's the situation we're looking for. And you'll notice that if you learn this, you've taken the criticism out of your communication. It doesn't stop there. There is a bonus lesson. That was a nonviolent communication way of stating this. And I'm going to add one more bonus that I think makes this even better. So stick around for the bonus lesson.